We continue to follow breaking news. The hunt is still on at this hour for a criminally insane Eastern State Hospital patient. We have just received word police are checking out. They received a tip and are checking out the area of Francis and Market. They have crews out there. They even have police dogs searching that area. We have a crew on the way. Our Annie Bishop will report to us as soon as she can get set up and bring us information. Also tonight, you will hear from Phillip Paul's brother and where authorities believe he's heading. Paul walked away from his group during a field trip to the Spokane Interstate Fair this morning. He was committed to Eastern 22 years ago when he confessed to strangling an elderly woman in Granger. Paul says the voices in his head told him she was a witch. KXLY4's Annie Bishop tells us where the story began.
As kids took a ride on the merry-go-round, Spokane County Sheriff deputies quietly scanned the crowds looking for any sign of a criminally insane killer.
I have a one-year-old here and I don't feel safe.
47-year-old Phillip Paul was one of several Eastern State Hospital patients on a field trip to the fair this morning. Sometime around 11:30, Paul disappeared. Almost 2 hours later, the hospital finally called for help.
It is very frustrating, very surprising that we weren't put on notice immediately that somebody with this type of background and this type of history walked away without law enforcement being immediately notified.
In 1987, Paul was found criminally insane when he admitted to strangling a 78-year-old woman in Granger, Washington. He's been committed at Eastern State Hospital for the past 20 years. He also has a history of escape and assault. Fair Director Rich Hartzell says he never gave the okay for the patients to visit the fair. While permission is not required, Hartzell says they should have had some warning.
I just don't understand how all this could have happened. I'm just bewildered by the whole situation, and I would hope that when I put in a phone call to them that they'll be able to give me some answers as to what their rationale was for this.
Some parents couldn't believe they weren't told of the escape right away. In fact, many didn't know anything had happened until KXLY crews on the scene told them almost 4 hours after the escape.
It gives me the goosebumps. Yeah, it's pretty scary, especially having a 3-year-old son and a wife, with me. So yeah, that's pretty scary knowing that he's out and about.
A childhood friend of Paul's who didn't want his face shown believes Paul is not a danger.
People like that need love and hope.
But police believe he needs to be locked up for his safety and yours.
That was Annie Bishop reporting. And the sheriff's office says Paul could become violent if he is off of his medications for more than 48 hours. If you have any information about where Paul may be, don't approach him, and you should call 911 immediately. We're going to be checking in with Annie Bishop again here in just a little bit. The Department of Social and Health Services Secretary has ordered an immediate lockdown of Eastern State Hospital. Secretary Susan Dreyfus also wants an immediate review to figure out what went wrong. Now, we caught up with Secretary Dreyfus this evening in Spokane.
We have to keep the community safe. And I really just appreciate the seriousness of this, and we're just very sorry this has happened.
Phillip Paul's criminal history is a violent one. He strangled 48-year-old Ruth Motley of Granger in 1987 because he said voices in his head told him that she was a witch. He was found to be criminally insane, so he was sent to Eastern State Hospital instead of a prison. At the time, doctors blamed schizophrenia and said he's not dangerous if he is on his medications. In 1990, he escaped from Eastern State Hospital and was found in a farmer's field nearby. He assaulted a deputy as they tried to arrest him. Our sister station, Cap TV in Yakima, tracked down Paul's brother in Sunnyside, Washington, where authorities believe he is headed. His brother says Phillip isn't a danger as long as he is medicated.
I'm concerned for the public. I don't care for him to be out in the public right now in the condition he's in. If he's properly medicated, I don't see a problem, but I don't think the hospital has him properly medicated right now.
Paul's family says they will tell him to surrender to police if he comes back, and Sunnyside police officers are on alert. Now, I know you've been looking at his mugshot quite a bit today. Take another look. If you see this man, do not approach him. Call 911 immediately. Now, we want you to sound off about this story. Do you think any patient of a state mental hospital should be released or taken on field trips? And does it matter if they are considered not a threat when they are on medication? You can email us directly by going to soundoff@kxly.com or go to our homepage, kxly.com, click on where it says Sound Off on the lower right-hand side of your screen.
Of your weekend, I'll have that forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes. Robyn?
Chris, thanks so much. Well, we have an update now to breaking news that we brought you just at the top of this hour. Spokane police are, right now, searching an area around Francis and Market where a sighting of escaped Eastern State Hospital patient Phillip Paul has been reported. And that's where our Annie Bishop is live tonight. Annie?
And this is what we can tell you. There are at least 4 sheriff's deputy cars here just north of Market on Francis. We talked to one deputy. He said all they were told was to set up a perimeter in this area because they received a report of a man matching the description, that of 47-year-old Phillip Paul. Of course, as we told you earlier, Paul is a criminally insane killer who escaped while on a trip to the fairgrounds earlier this afternoon at the Spokane Interstate Fair. Right now, we witnessed a Spokane sheriff's deputy walk into the woods with a flashlight, searching around, trying to look for anything suspicious, anyone suspicious, trying to match the description of this man they are searching for tonight. No word yet if they have found him, but we will certainly keep you posted as that information becomes available. Reporting live, Annie Bishop, KXLY4 HD News.